Good morning, everyone. Today I want to share a devotional in Ecclesiastes 3. We're going to be reading verses 1 through 8. For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. It is easy when we read that to think that this text is showing us seasons, but reality is that scripture challenges us to make changes. Scripture challenges us to make changes on how we live, but reality is we can change seasons. So what is this text about? This text is about perspective. What is your perspective in your current season? I want to challenge you to look at each one of these statements individually. When you look at it, it is not that you want one and you do not want the other. When you look at these statements individually, you realize that you want one and you will want the other, but in due time. And often we want things in our time instead of in God's time. I'm learning that myself. So it is about our perspective. Do we have the right perspective in the current season that we're in? Or are we just seeking to go to the next one? Because here's the thing. Getting what you want right now, it is not going to make you happy if you're not already happy. It's not going to give you any more joy, and it's not going to make your life any better. You have to be able to enjoy what you have right now. You have to be able to enjoy your current season, because this season is God teaching you something. I remember when I was in the military, I had a lot of problems with my health, and I was always tripping over a boy for some reason. And I remember thinking, man, I want to have something that will keep my mind busy so I'm not tripping over ridiculous boys. Well, my health got worse, and when I got out of the military, I was in and out of the hospital. I was in a wheelchair, and I was in a lot of pain. And I remember one day texting my best friend and saying, I would much rather be tripping over a boy right now. My perspective before I got out of the military was not good. My perspective when I got out of the military was not good. It wasn't until I was studying this text last time that God taught me that it's not about my seasons. God is not teaching me, yeah, there's a season for everything. God is teaching us it is about perspective. Change your perspective. Bring your perspective to mind. I am teaching you something through this season. Procure to know what that is. So my challenge to you all today is, what is your perspective in your current season? Instead of just complaining, instead of just waiting and saying, God, can we move on? Am I ready? Can we please be ready for the next season? Just ask God, what are you teaching me? Please open my eyes. I hope you all have a great day.